We're at the 100-metre mark on this edition of Racing to Win. Just race 8 to preview. Let's have a look at the lineup for this Class 3 1200. Wonderful journey, nice effort on the all-weather last start, finished third. Trying the Valley for the first time, Raging Blitzkrieg and also Lucky Hero. Generous Heart, a last start winner. Back in Black has blinkers going back on. Iron Boy's been in good form. And Exceptional Desire had two nasty barriers at his last two, but a much better one there on Wednesday night in gate number 3. Let's have a look at the speed map here, John, for the final race of the night. And I just mentioned about Exceptional Desire having a good draw on this occasion. Could see him find the front.
Could. He could get taken on, though, but he has a nice light racing weight, so that should definitely help him. Ones that I'm quite interested in here are Storm Signal, who's done pretty well so far in his Hong Kong career, but he draws a bad gate for literally the first time he's been here. So Joe Moreira will have a decision. Does he decide to go forward with this fella, or does he take him back from gate 10? Back in Black is a horse who's just coming back to a little bit of form. I think he could go quite well, but he'll drop back. And Jolly Convergence is a horse who very rarely wastes a bad gate. He should get a nice rails run, and he'll be thundering home at the death as well.
Yeah, Wonderful Journey is a pretty pacey type too, so I think a good assessment on the speed here in the last, Paul.
OK, the first horse we're going to have a look at is Lucky Hero. He hasn't been to Happy Valley before, so that's always a concern. Matthew Poon doing the work with him down the back straight there, and you can see he's doing what he has to do, and he's been in great form at Sha Tin. It's just whether he can bring it to Happy Valley. Here's Brave Legend. Now, he's only had the one start for Tony Cruz, and he went enormous on that start at Happy Valley. He'll be back there. He's got barrier 12, but he gets back anyway. Tony Cruz has got this horse flying at the moment. He's going very well. And Iron Boy hasn't won at Happy Valley before. He's just even work here. But he's a horse, as Brett mentioned earlier on, is in a bit of form at the moment. So he has been placed a few times, but just hasn't won.
All right, let's start dissecting this race. We're going to start off firstly with Lucky Hero, who comes to Happy Valley for the first time. Been very little wrong with his debut performances. Both been very good efforts at Sha Tin. Happy Valley could always be a tricky course for any horse in particular. I think he might handle it. And as Paul's already mentioned, I think Iron Boy is going pretty well at this stage too. So what are your thoughts here, John?
Well, certainly Lucky Hero's got the attributes to go well at Happy Valley. Good gate speed, and he's got gate 5 for his first run here at the track. Iron Boy, I kind of, last time out, thought that he wasn't going to make much of an impact after his victory, and he hasn't got the best Happy Valley record of all time, this fella, but it'd be dangerous to write him off in the form he's in. Yeah,
I got them both in on a place line. Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about Lucky Hero coming here for the first time. It's always a little bit of a concern, but if he handles it all right, he is the favourite, $3.40. You've got to take a short price.
All right, we're going to move on now to Generous Heart, and let's have a look at where he is. He's way out here, out wide on the track, but he's been very impressive when he has won these races at Happy Valley at 1,200 metres. Yeah,
and he thundered home here, and they weren't really quick sectionals. They were sharp enough, but there's nothing that made it an out-and-out closer's race, but he picked them off well in the latter stages. Obviously, the handicapper's had his say now. He's moved up from 67 to 74, but again, if they go a decent gallop out in front, I expect him to be staying on pretty effectively.
Yeah, I agree. I've got him in on a place line as well. I think he can run OK.
Yeah, I think that was quite an impressive performance. Just really last sort of 100 metres sort of moved away for quite an effortless victory in the end. We go on to the dirt now. We're going to focus here on Wonderful Journey, who is a horse that's got a good record at Happy Valley, and I think you might have made him a little long shot on this occasion, John. There he is back there, and the horse that is also, of course, an interest is that horse there, which is Storm Signal. Now, the barrier is the concern for him.
It is, yeah. It's the first double-digit barrier he's drawn in his Hong Kong career, which might just make things a bit tricky for him and his rider, Joe Moreira. Wonderful Journey. If they go a good gallop out in front, he'll be staying on. He stayed on well here behind two very promising all-weather types on the dirt. So I think he's going quite well. Alberto Sana riding on the crest of the wave at the minute as well. I haven't got him in, but he's one to definitely consider.
Are you considering those two, Paul?
No, I have not, no. I haven't got Storm Signal. I'm not worried. The draw worries me a bit, and I'm not sure if Wonderful Journey's going as well as he was last season. I mean, that was a better run last time on the all-weather. Now he's just a year older. This will be his 10th run for the season, so he'll be fit. And he is a 3-time winner there, so of the two, probably leaning towards the top one.
There's no doubt Storm Signal looks close, but the gate is the concern. Final race we're going to take a look at, as we can see here now. Back in Black, he's got the blinkers going back on. Is that going to be enough to improve him, to suggest that he can feature here. Jolly Convergence came the long way home. And Exceptional Desire, John, we spoke about him with the speed map. There's going to be some opposition, but he's got the low draw. Yeah,
he's had bad draws the last 2 starts, once at Shartin, once here at Happy Valley. He had to work like a Trojan last time, and I think you can probably just about forgive him that. Jolly Convergence, like I said before, has taken advantage of some good draws of late. And, well, back in black, he's probably not quite the horse he was a couple of seasons ago, and he won them in succession here at the Valley. But he's not that far away, so they're all interesting contenders.
I tipped him off the back of that performance back in black, and then last start he just didn't find what was required, Paul.
A little bit disappointing, wasn't he? He sort of, as John mentioned, I think maybe his best season was last season, and he is at a winnable rating, but he's just not really putting in at what he was.
All right, let's have a look at the selections now. And Paul, who did you side with in the final race of the night?
Well, I thought there was a massive effort last night by Brave Legend. He's only had the 1 start so far for Tony Cruz, and Tony Cruz has got him flying at the moment. He's a double-figure price. I think he's a really good price. And I think he's going to get back. He's going to have the race run to suit, and he'll finish over the top to beat Lucky Hero. First time here at the course. Iron Boy, he's been placed at the course a few times, so we'll give him a chance as well. And it was a good win last time from Generous Hearts. A 7, 4, 10 and 6, but I like the 7 on an each-way basis there. It's a good price.
I think Exceptional Desire will probably get taken on out in front, but I still think he's capable of running a good race off his lightweight from a low draw. He had to work very hard last time out, and indeed the time before that. He won't have to do quite so much, certainly in the early part of the race. So I like his chance. Breeder Star's got a lovely draw. I think he can go well as well, just off the back of the speed, as can Jolly Convergence. And back in black, he'll be staying on. Just a question of how many he'll be able to tick off in the latter stages. But I think Exceptional Desire is a good each-way bet in the last.
It's a good competitive race. I get the feeling Lucky Hero might potentially have a little bit on these down the track, so I'll probably end up siding with him, but a good contest. Let's have a look at the stats for the program, Paul. And we're looking at Paul O'Sullivan and Tommy Berry.
Yeah, they've had 13 runners together with in this combination with the first 3 rate of 54%. So with 3 wins, a second and 3 thirds, looks a very good record there. Now they've got Planet Star, who I think is a massive chance as well to add to that. Definitely think he'll be running in the first 3 anyway. So it's an interesting combination, especially with Tommy Berry now being able to ride for Paul O'Sullivan a lot more. Now he's a club jockey. So, well, we can see that stat increasing, I've got no doubt whatsoever.
All right, it's time to get the best bets for the card. And who's the moral of the night, Paul?
It's the big question. I think it's Buoyant Boy in race number 3, Go Early. He's improving every time, this horse, and I think he's due for a win. He just about won last time, and I think it'll be his night on Wednesday night. Honest Horse, he's 3rd up. His best run this season has been at Happy Valley, and he's really well rated at the moment. So I think he's going to run a really nice race from a low barrier draw. And I'll do the play in that race as well, because Great Joy's not far from a win. Little Island's well rated, and so is Honest Horse. So QQP's 236.
OK, for my best bet, I'm going to go with Silverfield in race number 6. He nearly got the job done last time out, and I think he's got every chance of gaining compensation on Wednesday night. Douglas White is aboard. And as far as the long shot goes, we're going to go towards the latter end of the card as well. With Infinity Endeavour, I think he'll be fine with a step up to a mile, and he might position up quite well. Matthew Chadwick can rate him well out in front. And as far as the best play goes, I think Winning Faith and Infinity Endeavour in race number 7, I think those two are ones you have to play around.
All right, my best, I'm going to go in the first, Lightning Missile. I don't think it's a strong race at all, and I thought he had excuses last start. He's progressing nicely for me in the mornings, and I think Sam Clipperton can get one home here in the first. And David Ferraris has twisted my arm. Patriot Hero, I actually thought he was a little rough chance of running in the first half a dozen in the Derby. From barrier 5, somehow he ended up off the track. Complete excuse, as David mentioned in the interview. I'm going to take a little chance with him in a very good race. Patriot Hero as the long shot. Play of the day will be in that race. I'm going to use Rickfield and Circuit Glory as the 2 around him. 5, 8 and 9 for the QQP in race number 7. So that is the situation. Happy Valley A course in use. Guys, before we go tonight, Champions Day, of course, coming up at the end of the month. We'll have an announcement Wednesday around lunchtime regarding the horses that will be heading here. and it'll be all very interesting to see who does come.
It certainly will, but of course, think back to December and International Day. The Hong Kong horses did very well, so the international stars better be on their game because we've got some good ones here.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, Paul, Time Warp stepping back up to the 2,000 metres QE2 Cup is going to be much better.
Yeah, really suit this horse, I think. It'll be interesting to see which way they go. Singapore Sling maybe for the mile, and Ping Hai Star maybe going for the 2,000 metres, the first two home in the Derby. And I'm really interested to see who's coming from Japan, because that's obviously there some really good horses come from over there.
Pakistan Star, of course, has to trial again. Andrew Lejeune is enjoying some R&R. Edward Sadler will join us at tomorrow night trackside, and we'll be on the air at 6:45, the first at 7:15. Good night. Thanks for your company.
Good night.